back over to the lovely Laura here.
All right, well, stay right here, Mr. Reed, Coach Reed. We have a little bit of a surprise today, and he doesn't know we're doing this, but we're doing it. We are transitioning into a celebration of the dedication and the time that Mr. Mike Elmhurst has put into the athletic department. And so, Mr. Reed, we're gonna get your chair. We're gonna make you sit right here. So hang on, sit where you are. We have several things we're gonna do today. So get comfortable. We're gonna be here for a little bit. We've invited some special guests. We've invited his family to be here today. But yes, why don't you just sit there and then just come right up front, and we've got videos, we've got all kinds of fun things. Give him another hand, Mr. Elmhurst. Came to CCS in 1999, is that right? 99, okay? Math people, you figure it out because that's longer than most of you have been born, right? No, yeah, you're all two babies, all the babies. So, when he came, we didn't have a high school at that time, right? It was just, we just went to 8th grade, I think, when you were here. And when you have a dream for something, you have to never give up. You've got to keep working. You've got to keep fighting for that. And so we want to recognize all of the years and all of the time that Mr. Reed put into creating the athletics that we have here today, because it was really hard work and it took a long, long time. So, Aaron, do you mind starting us off with a few words? And then I have all kinds of fun things. So we need hankies and tissues for this guy. He's going cry.
Is this one still on? Okay. Well, when I first got involved with the school, it was about 14 years ago, because Greg was just going into kindergarten. And at that point, the school did not have a high school at all. There was some talk started about that, and I was a little bit torn because I wanted my kids to go to Christian school all the way through. And when Daniel was in 4th grade, I started talking regularly to Mr. E about our athletic programs because they made a commitment to a high school. It was going to be over the course of time, but it wasn't yet developed. There was still only K through 8. And I think he's wiping away fake tears for me right now. And Mr. E had a vision for the school and the athletic program at that point that few others did. And he said, what we need to do is plug in as many people as possible on these younger grades and help build something from the base up. And then as the high school started to get launched, he put in countless hours of planning and preparation and calling different schools, setting up schedules. He was one of the pioneers that got us into the Cal League, which at that point, we were playing all independent games. I think that first year of high school, there's a team called Northland Baptist over in St. Cloud. And I think I didn't coach at that year in the high school, but they played them like 4 or 6 times. It's kind of like, can we please somebody else, please, Mr. E? But it was hard to get games because we were small. We didn't have a lot of numbers. And again, Mr. E is a pioneer. He's a close friend. He's a brother. We spent tons of hours on the bus together, having lots of conversations about how to make things better. I love his heart and his passion for this school. But I'll tell you what, one thing that is completely clear is he loves you guys, the students, and all the students he's had. He would talk about those relationships over and over and over again. Mr. E, thank you so much. You're a legend. I think we should name our first home tournament Mr. E class. So thank you, Mr. E. Appreciate it.
All right, next I'll have a few words written by my son about Mr. E. Along with teaching history, Mr. E has also led the athletic department as athletic director and coach, scorekeeper, ref, chauffeur to teams that make up CC Athletics, going back to times way before any of you were ever born. To teach teamwork, dedication, and grit requires someone who actively displays these traits. Mr. E lives and breathes them. Have you seen his calves? No one has these calves and isn't destined for greatness. Well, you don't have to show us right now. Okay. With all these being lifetime achievements on their own, Mr. E has also been a personal mentor and friend to myself and countless others. With a story he tells as only he can, Mr. E can cause a crowd to burst with laughter, a classroom of 8th graders to listen with great interest, and inspire the spirit inside ourselves we sometimes forget to possess. The mark of the Father follows Mr. E, made visible by the unmatched effort and character often missed by others. Without you, Mr. E, myself, and CCS would undoubtedly be less and lacking of a powerful force for goodness and truth. By your leadership and influence, you've made the up-and-coming generations of leaders ready and able to be disciples to all men, just as Jesus did. Thank you for giving CCS and I a Christ-like man to look up to, trust, and most of all learn from. Sincerely, along with many others, thank you. Great read, go Pack Go. And I'll make sure you get this. So, Mystery's not going anywhere. This is not some like going away. This is we want to celebrate and say thank you when it's time to say thank you. So, another favorite redhead of mine, Mark Arnold, has a few words. Come on up, Mark Arnold.
Most teachers want to teach the most students at the biggest school in order to impart their knowledge on the most people. However, the mark of a good teacher is the lasting impact they leave on their students, regardless of the number of students they teach. When Mr. E accepting a teaching position here at CCS in 1985, he believed that having a personal relationship with his students was more important than having a job at a bigger school, because he knew you would be unable to truly know the students. One of the ways Mr. E has become involved in the students' lives is by growing a substantial athletic program. He worked tirelessly to give students an opportunity to express their athletic abilities. For a while, the only sport offered at CCS was cross country. But because of Mr. E's desire to bring athletics to the school, CCS has seen its students participate in over 8 different sports. The school did not see success in its athletics right away, however. There were definitely some rough years and a lot of learning experiences, but because of Mr. E's passion to see the school grow and the initiative he showed to give students athletic opportunity, CCS has had top 3 finishes in basketball, soccer, and volleyball this year, along with the Cal tournament win for volleyball in 2021, and a first place finish at state for golf in 2019. Since I started attending this school, Mr. E has provided me with some of the greatest experiences. I remember back in 6th grade, our basketball team did not have a coach. So Mr. E, being the great athletic director that he is, took matters into his own hands and appointed himself as a coach. And because of Mr. E's extensive amount of basketball knowledge and great coaching ability, our team ended up losing only 2 games the whole year. Sometimes I wonder if Mr. E is really just pretending to like history so that he can be a part-time basketball coach. Mr. E, thank you for taking the initiative to create a successful athletic program at CCS for students to display their athletic abilities. Thank you for all the hard work and dedication that you put into this program. The impact you've had on the students at this school will last a lifetime.
Thank you, Mark. Got another fun surprise for you. I reached out to a few alumni, and so we have a couple of videos. Let's just do them back to back here, and I'll explain who they are afterwards if you don't know who they are. But enjoy a moment from our alumni.
Hey, Mr. E, welcome to Texas, where it's warm. You were wearing somewhere warm. Just kidding. Not really. Anyway, thanks for being athletic director. I really do appreciate it, and all of the hours you committed to our athletic program, and I just really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You also are the only athletic director in CCS history to have a state championship.
I think we can all agree that Mr. E has truly become the man, the myth, and the legend of CCS. Mr. E, the way you've poured into your students as athletes is really remarkable, especially in a school that was just starting a lot of its athletic programs. The way those programs have developed is largely thanks to you and your work into those. So thank you. I know my experience running track, cross country, and playing basketball wouldn't have been the same without you. So again, thank you.
Yeah, Mr. E, we're super grateful that you have the same perspective as the Apostle Paul, that bodily fitness is of some value, but true value is found in godliness. And that perspective that you have is made very clear with how you interact with students, athletes, and teachers. And we're super grateful. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. E.
Alumni. So that's Ben Burgett and his wife Hannah Burgett. They both went to school here at CCS, graduated, and Ben was one of our, I think, our first athlete to go to any kind of state level with track, cross country that he was involved in. And that's really what we want to appreciate today, is the fact that Mr. E knew that we didn't want sports to be the most important thing about this school. We wanted it to be part of your entire experience as we disciple young people for Jesus Christ. So I'm so thankful that that has been his heart all along. So, Mr. Clausen, is there anything you want to share as we get ready to close, or just say thank you? You just say.
You're not supposed to do this right away.
Oh,
You can't call on me and say.
Oh, I didn't know. I wasn't sure. It's okay.
Mike, thank you so much for everything that you've done here. I don't know the history, but there has been a lot that's been done. I have very large shoes to fill. Mike's supposed to be trying not to be here, but there's times when I can't do what Mike did. So it's a huge undertaking on my behalf. I'm thankful that Mike is still here for his guidance the last maybe 9 months. I've had an opportunity to take some car rides with him and chat with him about what he's done here at school. I've got to know him a lot more over these last 9 months than I have since Margaret started here in kindergarten. So, yeah, monster job. It's not a simple task. So I have a much larger respect for what athletic directors do, and when you combine it with teaching history and managing a dairy farm, what an amazing accomplishment. Just a round of applause for Mike and what he's done, and I look forward
ministry of school, and so to hand the baton to the next person and to walk with them, we're thankful that you've been able to do that and share what you've learned over the years. So, in closing, Mike, we have something for you today. I just need to make sure I can read what is on this award that we have for you. This, I've only given, I think, one of these ever. It's a Golden Eagle Award for Mike Elmhorst for dedicated years in service and commitment to Community Christian School athletics for youth ministry. Thank you for all you've done. Thank you.
Thanks, that made my day. It started out kind of rough, right? I got told by somebody who thought I was 60. Somebody thought somebody else guessed I was 74. So this makes up for that, I guess. But I just appreciate everything that you guys said, and what Coach Reed said. I do love you guys.
Mr. E, you have been just a blessing to all of us. You have coached the girls' basketball team, know when to put us in and take us out. But I also remember the countless hours of going out to eat for mock awards. He would always take us out and make up these just absurd awards for both volleyball and basketball. One of my awards was, why can't you be more like your sister? So that was great. Kind of hurt my feelings, but no, just kidding. But just the countless hours and just opportunities that you have just given us have just been truly amazing. I won't ever forget you trying to set me up with Caleb for $5. But you have just been truly a blessing to just CCS and yeah, just all of your long talks and yelling at us when we need to behave. But yeah, thank you for just your time and your effort in being here.
That concludes our celebration of all of the hours and time. When you play sports today, when you go to the golfplex, when you are on the soccer field, the basketball court, remember that did not happen just by accident. It took a lot of work and a lot of years of dreaming and hoping and praying and working for that to occur. So thank you for being here. Thank you, teachers, for your flexibility. Thank you to all the visitors that are here today. We're going to take a lot of pictures, but you can head to the end of advisory going into the third hour. Thank you and have a great day.